For many years, New Zealand has been plagued by a housing crisis. The housing market has become increasingly inaccessible for first home buyers. Many view home ownership as an increasingly distant and even unrealistic goal. Meanwhile, mega landlords accumulate dozens, and in some cases hundreds, of rental properties. The housing crisis desperately needs to be addressed. The current government does not care about this issue at all. They have no interest in addressing the housing crisis. They have made that very obvious. They cut the Kāinga Ora house build program by $435 million. The maintenance fund has also been gutted. They abolished the first home buyers grant that was intended to give first home buyers a chance on the property market. Prior to the election, they claimed that they would keep the grant in place. Because they are liars with no credibility, they abolished it anyway. They abolished it without warning, catching many people off guard. They did not even have the decency to be honest and forthcoming about their bad policy. It is disgraceful. The first home buyers grant gave ordinary people a chance on a housing market full of wealthy buyers. Thanks to the current government, it is gone. National wanted to abolish the foreign buyers ban. They wanted to let rich foreigners make the housing market even more competitive. That is the last thing we need at present. The government delivered a gigantic tax cut to landlords. This tax cut will give landlords more money, making it easier for them to accumulate even more properties. That revenue could have been used to fund new housing or first home buyer grants. Instead, they delivered a huge tax cut for landlords, the people who need it the least. They claimed this would result in lower rents. Yet Luxon himself was unwilling to commit to lowering rent for his own tenants. They lie to legitimize unjustifiable policy. The housing crisis desperately needs to be addressed. A recent report found that New Zealand may soon have more renters than homeowners. That is outrageous. The government does not care about the housing crisis. The governing parties are funded by rich elites who have no interest in addressing the housing crisis. Many of them actively benefit from the housing crisis. Christopher Luxon is incredibly out of touch. He is a rich landlord who owns a large number of properties. He is a rich elite who does not understand your struggles. He is a rich elite who does not care about your struggles. The government's housing policies are laughable. As usual, these policies conveniently serve the interests of the rich people who fund the governing parties. Abolishing the first home buyers grant and building fewer houses frees up money to fund massive tax cuts for landlords. The abolition of the foreign buyers ban benefits the rich and wealthy overseas. New Zealand is brought to market to fund tax cuts for the rich and wealthy. That was their goal. Thank God for New Zealand first. I don't give them credit for much, but I do give them credit for that. This government is a joke. They have no interest in addressing the serious issues affecting ordinary New Zealanders. They are out-of-touch rich elites, funded by out-of-touch rich elites. They do not represent you. They must be voted out of power in 2026.